Welcome to another episode of St Vincent Untold Stories. On this episode, we are going to show you why the big man has to go, and we are calling on the Canadian government to help us. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon. You are going to want to see this video, I tell you. Hold on carefully. Several allegations were brought forward against assaulting a man. And those women that brought the allegations are living in Canada. So we want to know what the Canadian administration is doing to have this man brought up to Canada. You see, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it is like it is becoming like a North Korea right now. Only some persons get justice. Just imagine that when things are reported against some are taken up immediately. And those in high power that represent a certain team are not taken up. A Nigerian guy who is married to a Vincentian that is living in Canada came to St. Vincent, and he made certain investments like open a couple of businesses and so forth and employ the people, He make people eat, He even bought a property and a house in an area of which they said that a lot of people would buy properties in that area. But the man took a risk and he went and bought one. And we did not see much people buy properties in that area like how the administration boasted. We have the big sea on our hands, and a certain flight was shut down. So the man could not go back. So he paid and he extended his time. And the volcano erupted, so he had to extend again. But they did not want to extend the man time anymore. Remember I told you that once you are not with them and you try to create a business in this country, that they would try to block you. So they decided not to extend his time anymore. So they gave him a week to leave. Just imagine, you are in a country, your wife is your child and your mother-in-law. You haven't done anything wrong. So the man putting an application to stay in St. Vincent with his family. And they denied the application. Guess where that man is from? The guy is from Nigeria. And remember, there was a time that the big man took some Rastafarian brothers to Africa, and they told us that we were welcome anytime. So that's how we treat our own African brothers. Who knows the guy that I am talking about would tell you that he's so free-handed. He would give you anything. During the volcanic eruptions, the man assisted a lot of people. He even took in evacuees. He even reached out to the big man. But you know what? They told him that he needs to get out. Just imagine, there are liquor boots who love to call people lazy. And there are those who would jump and say that they know the big man they can provide work for everyone. But here is a guy trying to create employment, trying to help out Vincentians. But they want him to go home. So the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, anytime they want something, they must always have to come up to the big man's office and beg. So if that is their strategy, how can we get out of extreme poverty? How can we create employment? The same man that usually cries when anything happens in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And as soon as he get the monies, it's a different face. That's the same man that if you speak out, you say certain things that he don't like, he gets a lawsuit against you. We understand the laws of defamation of character. But when you are the big man, you got to show the people that you are bigger than that. So everything somebody say, you have to just so. You are people live in poverty, so nobody can talk. Wasn't just recently, me hear who say that you not left on mouth in our mouth. Who like to take people's words out of context. But and I me say so, I him say so. Him not say so when him did a talk about sorting man. At one point, we all used to look up to the guy. We liked what he was doing. But right now, man, he isn't doing the right things. All that thing he did there with Otto Sam, man, that turned me off. Look at an innocent man just telling you to abide by the rules. And you are always talking about rules, rules, rules. What happened? You want to set rules, but you don't want to keep them. How that sound? If the man change his ways, would forgive him, because no one is perfect. But he's not changing, he's stubborn. Just a night before, I was reasoning to one of your past supporters. And the last time you won, he helped to campaign and so on, and they promised him a house. And he's saying right now, he doesn't even want to hear the big man name at all, because it's bare lies and chicks right now. Take a walk into the garrisons. You don't hear men arguing like before. But if you go into the House of Parliament, there are men arguing like children. It is alleged that someone threw an object at the big man. Some are saying that the hit came from the baton of an officer. We saw a video in which they went for a lady. We don't know if the guy that went to the vehicle with the lady is her husband or her son. But they took the lady away into the vehicle. But a lawyer wrote in an article saying that the confession that was taken by the police should not have been taken. You see, the Nigerian guy I told you about earlier, you know what they did? They went to the man's property and they scaled the man's wall without a warrant. They had a po and the man had a child that attends the preschool, and there were other children in the house as well, just searching up, walking up and down like they bought that. At Untold Stories, I have nothing against any officer. You are to perform your duties to the best of your ability. Your job is to protect and serve. These officers in St. Vincent, I tell you that most of them need to learn the law. You went in the man's place without no warrant. The man's mother-in-law is asking you to present a warrant, but you are just walking up and down. So the laws don't apply in St. Vincent. This is a lawless place. Tony Mataran was overseas and he had a confrontation with one Bunty over the media, and he brandished a popo on the internet. And you know what they did? They waited until he came to Jamaica and took it away. And it was licensed. But yet you have members of your team brandishing popos, and they are not being taken away. But on the other side, men who had popos in holisters were taken. 20 years of leadership, no factories, no industries, and still you expect the people not to come out. You got monies upon monies to help out poor people. But those monies were used for different things. You see, the thing is, there are those who might say, you know what, before the big man came in to leadership, they had a factory which was the sugar factory and so on. But even though the sugar factory closed down in that time, they had a banana which was bringing in X amount of dollars. We are asking you again to step down. You and your son can go to a private island and enjoy your bitcoins. The thing I don't understand, this man wasn't like that, You could have gone to this man at any time, and he would have smiled with you, laughed with you, and he would have given you anything. But I don't know what really went wrong. We are asking the President of the United States, the head of the United Nations, the Canadian government, and all the big world leaders to look into St. Vincent. Something is definitely wrong here. We are under extreme poverty. Something needs to be done immediately. Poor people are crying out. But you know something? Even the pharaohs back in the times, did not live forever. So let him continue. Nothing lasts forever, you know. Let him do his do. Mr. Big Man, I am not Moses and I am not a prophet. I am not comparing myself with anyone. All we are asking you to do is to let the Vincentian people go. We are tired of your way of doing the things. We are not in the times of the pharaohs and in the times of King Arthur, where you pass the baton on to your children. We are in the times where every man have a choice to make their own decision, to say who they want to lead. The people need the volcano relief monies. We need employment. We need factories to be built. Everything is spoiling. We need to get out of extreme poverty. We need justice. Wearing a short skirt for an interview should not be a part of the resume to get a job, and it should not be an advantage either. You see, if we find anything wrong with bitcoins, we are going to take those properties that were bought with bitcoin, and we are going to give them to the past workers of people like Bigger Bigs, children of people like Otto Sam and so forth. With that being said, I hope the big man comes to his senses. I just want to big up the entire population in St. Vincent, the regional islands, and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us during these difficult times. We thank you. One quick reminder, we are asking that Alcatraz be ready and stand by to accept those that mismanage funds and led us into extreme poverty. They need to have a time by themselves so they can understand what they have done.